the question which everybody, I'm sure, wants to know. When is the IPO coming out?
We get IPOs literally every day.
No, yours.
So,
Yeah, you're waiting. When is the NSE IPO
no,
coming?
we have been given the no objection certificate after
By
almost 10
SEBI,
years by
yeah.
SEBI. And so we are working on it. It will take us a few months to prepare our DRHP, file it with SEBI again, then they will give their own.
So where do you
queries and
list?
all.
How does it happen?
We are not allowed to list on ourselves. So naturally we have to list on
Where does
one
it-
of the. There are other exchanges like BSE. There are other exchanges also coming up. So we will
So you
list on-
list on your competitor's exchange.
Naturally, that's the regulation. We can't be, especially as a regulated entity,
Huh.
you are not supposed to regulate yourself, right? It's so as far as the listing process, the company's information, those are the things which need to be regulated by third party, right? And it's although in other countries, all the exchanges are listed on themselves,
Huh.
like London.
So why didn't you do it?
It's a regulation of India, and we have to abide by that.
Okay. And what kind of valuation are you expecting?
No, we don't have a clue because basically what happens is at the
How
time.
can that be?
At that time when the IPO actually happens, the market conditions will vary.
Okay.
So what happens is these merchant bankers, they advise the board committees called IPO committee that what is the correct price to offer and things like that. And so, you know how volatile the geopolitics and the economics are. So, right. So that's where, as and when the IPO comes in closer to that, literally the day, 1 day before or 5 days before only, the merchant bankers advise the
So the
IPO
social
committee.
media is already abuzz with it, and they are saying that it could be anywhere from $50 billion.
See, I think people make up their mind on something basis. Of course, they will have basis like the company's profits, similar companies in the industry in India, abroad, the growth rates they've seen and stuff like that. But again, that remains to be what I call, you have to take it with a pinch of salt, right?
Okay.
Because what happens on actual listing, you don't know.
You're showing strong profitability. What is the reason to go public?
No, in a way, see, we are actually a frontline regulator also, and we are a commercial entity too, right? And we have now close to, more than 195,000 investors. They also require liquidity in their day-to-day understanding. We are already working like a listed firm. We do quarterly results. We do provide any material event on our website. But we don't get traded on any stock exchange, right? So, and listing and trading are two different things. You can be listed on one exchange, you can be traded on many exchanges, and things like that. Like MCX is still not traded on, not listed on NSE, but it's traded on NSE for last 12-15 years. So that you don't have to list to trade in your exchange. But irrespective, basically, if you trade, then you get many more people to participate, and they think that you will get better liquidity and stuff like that.
What do you do with that?
We don't take money for ourselves. We are not going to raise money for ourselves. We're going to raise, basically take the shares from our existing shareholders, ask them first, saying that if you want to sell in IPO, it's called offer for sale, OFS. You give it to us. With that, we will go to SEBI, saying that these are the people wanting to sell their shares, allow us to do IPO. So we will come out with a prospectus with their shares owned by them and offer it to public.
And then?
And then it starts trading, and then everyone can trade, including our existing shareholders and future shareholders.
Okay. So back to the same question. What do you do with that then?
Then that money which the new IPO shareholders give, it goes to the people who are selling.
But you are not going to put any condition for that has to be used for some other purpose.
No, it's actually called OFS. It's a common practice in India.
Okay.
Where the existing shareholders can sell their shares into IPO and take the money out.
So is one
like
of
Hyundai, like Hyundai, if you've seen, Hyundai was owned by Hyundai Corporation in Korea. They sold and they took out the money. LG, which is the another Korean company, they took out the money because they were owning 100%.
So are you providing an option for exiting of current shareholders?
A little bit, because see, my current shareholders are owning 100% of NSE, out of which basis regulations, we might have to issue say 4% on the OFS, 4.5% or something. So I'll collect that much at least from my existing shareholders in case they want to sell and give it to other people. So that's a procedural thing. It's not for us in a way to collect money for our growth, because as you rightly said, we are sufficiently profitable to manage all our future expansions as of now.
Okay. So, how will this improve transparency and governance? Because that's what people are saying, that once the IPO comes in, it improves governance, it improves transparency, and future growth, you have more money to play with for future growth. Is that
it is true? And in our case, say transparency in pricing currently is not there because it's not traded on any exchange. So even the brokerage which you pay, as I told you, some brokers on exchanges charge you zero or 0.1, 0.2%. But if you do it on an unlisted market, you don't know what price you are getting it at. They charge the brokerage at very high prices. You don't even know how much is the brokerage, how much is the cost, right? And things like that. That's where when you trade on exchange, that transparency comes in. The other transparency is about investor asking tough questions to the management, saying why this went wrong or something is going wrong in your organization, which sometimes regulators are not able to identify despite all the inspections and all. But the investors, somehow, because they are numerous, right? Sometimes in millions, they figure out and they ask questions and they actually make even the regulators aware of some of the wrong things that might be happening in any organization. So my fundamental belief is that any public utility, which NSE is, should be listed, whether it is electricity utility or stock market utility or any other utility. And we also...
For efficiency, I would think that. Yes.
Right? And
you have more money to play with.
Not only that, transparency...
I mean, playing is a wrong word. I shouldn't use that. But if you have transparency and efficiency, that means growth. That means better...
And also we basically serve public purpose. Right? And that public has a right to ask questions on our workings, right? And it has been proved beyond doubt that after LIC listed, the corporate governance improved. And that is true with, if you see any large organizations, because you have to give out sort of information on real time when material things happen. And that is absolute
That means that
must.
due diligence has become stringent.
And it's a routine thing compared to somebody coming after 1 year trying to inspect. By the time things might have gone wrong even drastically, while as real time investors are able to figure out, ask questions, even media is able to ask. And for me, going public is a very important aspect of any company, but it's even more important for public sector units, for public utilities. We are a private entity, but still we perform a public function.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा.
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है.
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब.
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप.
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI. It does not lie.